Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, et hora mortis nostrae. Amen.
Okay. Uh, please accept my sincere apologies. Uh, please accept my sincere apologies. I was on mute. I am very sorry. Uh, I have to learn. I have to learn once I put the mute button and before I start a telecast, I must activate it. Uh, please accept my sincere apologies. Welcome all tonight. God bless you all this Sunday night. God bless you all this Sunday night. This telecast is going to be very short. The reason of this telecast is to honor Emery's friend that was sadly killed. He was knifed. May God bless his memory. His name is Otis. Our respect to his family and to Emery. Uh, Mr. Otis was a dear friend of Emery. So the reason I am doing this telecast, first, to show respect, to the Otis family, and most important, to support my nephew, Emery, and as I always say, this channel is Emery's channel. This channel is also Emery's channel. So God bless my nephew Emery and his entire family, his mother, Rocco, and his whole entire family. If Emery arrives in the chat, I will be sending him the link immediately. That way he can express himself and tell us about Otis and tell us the biography, a little biography, without getting into anything personal about Otis. So as soon as Emery arrives, if he arrives, I will be sending him the link. But to be clear, this telecast is going to be short. This very short. The only topic that I'm going to talk about is about Emery's friend. That is the only topic that I will be touching on this telecast, and it will be very brief. Uh, Before I get into it, let me give a warm welcome to Miss Jane Perry. Miss Jane Perry, welcome, and God always bless you. Hold on, please. Okay, a big hug for Miss Jane Perry and her family. Miss Jane, God always bless you, and thank you always for supporting our channel. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you. And I hope that one day you can be on the panel, if you so desire. You can be on the panel whenever you want, and that goes for everyone. Everyone here can come on the panel. There's no problem. And you can also do, and if you ask me, I will give you a complete hour, and you can do your own. Telecast. And also, if you want to activate your channel, I will help you with the little experience that I have and the little knowledge that I have learned since doing lives. Uh, I will share. I will share it with all of you because all of you are content creators. I repeat, all of you are content creators. I want to make that clear. All of you, everyone that participates on YouTube is a future content creator. And you must show the talent that God has granted you. Okay, getting back to the greetings. So God bless Jane Perry. Uh, God, thank you for coming, Roscoe. Roscoe, thank you for coming, and God bless your family. Special blessings for your dear father, for your dear dad, and God bless Scotland. God bless Scotland. And to all the Scottish, a big hug to all the Scottish. This is very important for everyone. We all should learn. We all should learn about different countries, about different cultures and heritage. It will make you a complete person. I repeat, we must all learn about other countries and about other cultures. That way, also, that way we can, that way, that way we can respect other countries. We must learn to respect other countries and other cultures because there are people. I'm talking in general. They are people that 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 they feel superior, and that is wrong. And I want to make something very clear tonight. I am proud. I am proud of being an American, born and raised in New York, in the great state of New York, and I love my flag. I am to be clear, because I like to be clear. I am a Ronald Reagan Republican. I am a Ronald Reagan Republican. May God bless his memory. But, 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 a big B-U-T. We Americans must learn to respect other countries. There are many Americans that do not respect other countries. They think that they are superior to other countries, and that is incorrect. And I want everyone to put this in your pocket, in your wallets, and in your purses. The European culture, it is it is superior to our American culture, and that is a fact. That is a fact, and we must acknowledge it. And we must learn. We must learn from our European brothers, and that is a fact. Uh, I would suggest that everyone start reading the history of our nation and where we really come from. We must learn where we came from. And also this is important. I hear a lot of people, I'm talking in general, to be clear, a lot of people that discriminate and that show hatred to immigrants, and that is wrong. Our nation, America, our nation, America, everyone, all our ancestors, all our ancestors, from the beginning of this nation, are all immigrants, are all immigrants. So if we come from immigrants, so we have no moral right. We have no moral right to hate, to hate, to hate immigrants, because we all come from immigrants. I repeat, we all come. It makes no sense. It is like a lot of people that still exist that hate black people. There's people that hate black people just for the color of their skin. And that is wrong. In every family, if you check your family tree, if you check your family tree, you have an African relative. That I guarantee. So, so if you hate black people, you are hating yourself. I repeat, if you hate black people, you are hating yourself. You can be the whitest person. You can be as white as milk. I repeat, you can be as white as milk. But if you check your family tree, you're going to have a cousin or an uncle or an aunt that is African, and that the person's skin is black. So if you hate black, you are hating yourself. And I want to make this clear. We must, all these immigrants, all these immigrants that are coming now from Latin America, we must help them. We must help them. That is that is that is that is what believing in God is all about. And 99% of them immigrants, all they want is to work. 99% of all them immigrants that are coming now from Latin America, all they want is to work and to have a better life. And this is very important that we must consider when a person leaves their country of origin. When a person leaves when a person leaves their country of origin and leaves with a little backpack on his back, on his or her back, and they go through rivers and they go to the forests where there's rats and snakes and dangerous animals. When a human being goes through all of that, there's something wrong. There's something going wrong in that country. Because if the country of origin, everything would go well, the people will not. The people will not be coming to our nation. The reason that they are coming here is because they just want to work and they want a better life. Because their country of origin does not offer them that. The majority of these Latin American countries, to be clear, they are rich. They are rich, but the riches are only for a few. The majority have corrupt governments. And it is my opinion, what we can do as a nation, our president, we must send a message. We must send a message to these countries that they must give economic opportunity for all. That way, we can control this out of control immigration. Because the reason, to be clear, we must be clear. The reason these people are leaving their countries, because they have no economic opportunity. That is why. Okay. Getting back. So we as Americans, we must learn to be humble. We must learn to be humble, and also this. You may not like what I am saying, but I stand by my comments because I have studied, and I say it humbly. I have studied, and I know what's going on in the world and in different countries. We Americans must be humble and must be open to learn from other countries. We must learn their culture, their history, and always this saying, we must throw it in the garbage. When an immigrant comes to the United States, we always the majority of people tell the person, "You must speak English." You know what I say? How about us learning a second, a third, and a fourth language? Let me tell you, Spanish. The Spanish language is I would say the Spanish language is the second most important language in the world. The first language which is important, which is the economic language, we must be clear, is English. But we must learn Spanish, and also we must learn Mandarin. Mandarin, that is the Chinese language. It is my opinion that in all our public schools, they should be teaching Mandarin. That is the Chinese language. You know why? I am going to tell you why. You know who owns the debt? You know who owns our debt as a nation? China. I'm going to repeat it again because a lot of people, maybe they did not know that. Our debt, our deficit, which is in the trillions, is owned by China. We must be clear, we must be sincere, and we must look at ourselves in the mirror. China, China, China owns our debt. So we must be humble. We must acknowledge our faults. We must acknowledge our faults. And also this, in instead of us sending arms to uh, let me organize my mind. Hold on. It's the Spanish and English that that mixes me up. Okay, and I apologize for that. Instead of us sending arms to the Ukraine, we should start promoting peace between the Ukraine and Russia. I repeat, instead of sending arms and equipment for war and destruction, we should be sending a peace committee. For that way, the president of Russia and the president of Ukraine, and lock them up in a room. And until they don't reach a peace treaty, they cannot come out of the room. That is what we should be doing as a nation. That is what the president should be doing, not sending arms. Because this is very important. The country of Ukraine right now is totally destroyed. You know how much it's going to cost to rebuild that nation? Trillions. Yeah, these are things you might not agree with me, but just keep them in mind. And I say it with respect. And I say it with respect. Okay, Miss. To be clear, I only have I only have the StreamYard. I only have the StreamYard chat. I do not have access right now to the YouTube chat. So I have. Hold. Okay, let me send the link to my nephew. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I'm sending the link to my nephew immediately. Hold on, please. Hold on. Sending the link to my nephew right now. going to paste the link for my nephew. I'm going to paste the link. And after I paste the link for my nephew, I will greet everyone. I will greet everyone as always. And as soon as my nephew, uh, as soon as my nephew is on the air, he will control this telecast completely. He will control this telecast completely, to be clear. Because tonight, we are honoring his dear friend Otis. So as soon as Emery is on the air, he is the boss of the channel, to be clear. I'm going to paste the link now. Okay, the link, wait, okay, hold on. Okay, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat for my nephew, Emery. To be clear, the link is only for Emery. The link is only for Emery with the utmost respect. So I hope Emery, uh, I hope Emery presses it. Okay. Uh, Miss Purple Kirby Lady, Miss Purple Kirby Lady, welcome. Welcome and God bless you always. And my utmost respect. And my utmost respect. Okay, hold on. Okay, we have my nephew. We have my nephew. Welcome, nephew. Hold on, nephew. Okay. Uh in the name of God, in the name of the Holy Mother of the Virgin Mary, we have my dear nephew, and I say this tonight, one of the most talented people on YouTube, Emery. Emery, over 1 million subs, and just a good human being, to be clear.
How you doing, Uncle Edwin?
Great. Welcome, Emery. Welcome. And this telecast, you are in charge right now.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the condolence thing. Yeah, it's sad. My friend was stabbed yesterday, and shame. 40 years old. My heart goes out to his family. It really does. His mother, his brothers, and his cousins. Real sad.
And Marie, without getting into anything personal, can you give us a little biography? Uh, who was Otis? Can you tell us like a little biography of Otis, please?
Oh yeah. He was my friend Henry's little cousin. So he was like 4 years younger than us. And he used to always come over his cousin's house, and we'd hang out. He'd always tag along with us and stuff. And we all grew up and got older. But he's a good dude. He was from around the Potters Ave area in Providence. But he was originally born in Liberia. Actually, his older brother, who was 2 years older than me, believe it or not, was actually like a child soldier for a little bit. He never really talked about it or nothing, but yeah, it sounds crazy like to even say that, but yeah, he was like a child soldier, the brother. They're from Liberia. But if you talk to them, they have American accents. They were like Otis was here since he was real little, probably 2 or 3. And his brother came here. I don't know how old he was when he came here. But good people. But guess he got into a fight. We don't know. I really don't know what happened. I'm just going by what the news said, and what his cousin knew is what the news said. That he was at some place in Cumberland. A fight broke out, and he was stabbed to death and died in Rhode Island Hospital. So who knows what it could be? Could have just gotten a fight with somebody at a party or something. Or maybe he got into a fight a few months ago and somebody got revenge on it. Who knows?
Emery, can you tell us how you met Otis?
Yeah, through his cousin Henry. His cousin Henry lived in my town. He lived in Johnston. And Otis and his brother used to come over and sleep over Henry's on the weekends and stay over a lot. And they would just hang out with us.
Okay. Okay, Anne Marie. Uh, before you before you continue, can you see the complete chat?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Please greet everyone one by one, Anne Marie, please.
All right, little crazy purple lady, how you doing? Roscoe, Tracy, damn it, Mandy, Paul, how's it going? Gerard, Kid Rock, Bears and Cigars. Who else? Wait, Don Micchio, what's up? David James, how's it going? What else do I see over here? Another crazy purple lady, but I guess that was her other count. Gianni, how's it going? Glad to see everybody. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. Yeah, I found out today. I went to church this morning. I was having a good day until my friend messaged me. His cousin messaged me. He says, I'll be coming up there on some bad news. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, Otis was stabbed. So it's just like unbelievable. Crazy.
Anne Marie, he was stabbed. He was stabbed he was stabbed like in the evening, like he was hanging out somewhere.
Yeah, I think it happened in the evening. Not today, last night, I believe. I gotta watch the news again to see if they have an update on it or whatever. But they didn't catch the people who stabbed him. So it could have been a setup, or he could have, like, Rhode Island's very small. You could have ran into somebody that you got in a fight with at the club, because he used to go to a lot of the clubs and stuff like that and get in fights. And he was a tough guy. With his hands, he could really fight well. So it's possibly could have beat somebody up, and then they ran into him somewhere, or he was just at a party and just things went left. Who knows? But yeah, he was stabbed a couple times.
Let me tell you something, Anne Marie, and I tell this to all our chat family. Uh, our our streets of our great nation, including its territory, Puerto Rico, our streets, Anne Marie, and chat family, our streets are not safe. Anne Marie, my mother used to say this. No matter how clean I leave the kitchen at night, as soon as I turn out the lights, the roaches and the rats come out. And that expression, she used to use it not for her kitchen, but it was like a metaphor for the streets.
For the streets,
in the night.
Even if it's a nice neighborhood, even if it looks nice at night, all the kooks come out, all the nuts come out.
Right, and let me tell you, Anne Marie, people in general are not going out in the evening the way they used to go out. People that have some conscience. People go out like in the morning or the afternoon hours, but once the sun comes down, people that have conscience and that acknowledge that our streets are not safe, they stay home. Does that come sometimes, Anne Marie? And I say it with the utmost respect, and I have told you, and I say this tonight, Anne Marie, with the utmost respect. You must be careful. You must be careful. Sometimes when you go out at night with Rocco, and it doesn't matter if you have Rocco with you. The streets are dangerous even for Rocco. For Rocco. So you must be careful, Anne Marie.
Yeah, I'm always careful, but what's up? Just chilling. Anything could happen, you know. The world is the world, you know. So you always got to be street smart and alert. But even if you're street smart and alert all the time, anything can happen at any time. Life is short. and it could be gone in a blink of an eye.
Yeah. And let me tell you something, Emery, and this is personal. Last night, this morning, my grandson, he came home at 8 o'clock in the morning. So my son and I, we punished him because uh, he cannot be, he cannot come home at 8 o'clock in the morning. Uh, he was like, I think he was in a discotheque. But it's but here in Puerto Rico, let me tell you, here in Puerto Rico at nighttime, very dangerous. Just like just like any state. So we must be careful.
Yeah, and no matter where you go, if the nightlife is always going to be filled with mischief, dangers. I don't care where you are, any state, any town. There's always going to be that troubled element out there at night, and then just people want to have a good time, but there's always going to be those people. So you got to be careful.
Yeah. Uh, let me tell you something also that and what they're doing without what they are doing with our police force in the states, and also it happens in Puerto Rico. We the politicians are tying the hands, are tying literally, they are tying the hands of our police officers. If a police officer does his job, uh, if he does his job, he can get fired. That is unbelievable. Uh, I remember, I remember, I remember when I was a kid uh, in New York City. In New York City, Emery, the police officers when I was a young kid, they used to walk the beat. They used to walk the beat in the neighborhoods. So uh, everyone in the neighborhood knew the police officer, but that doesn't exist anymore.
When did they stop that?
Huh?
When did they stop that walking the beat?
Okay,
Because that's a pretty good
okay.
idea because they become friends with all the neighbors. They know people.
And I remember one time. Okay, one time. This only happened one time. One time, I was around like 9 or 10. Uh, we stole a hubcap. We stole a hubcap, and immediately I felt. Uh, uh, Let me explain it clearly. I stole a hubcap when I was a young kid, but thank God that the police officer, he got me in the act. So what he did was he grabbed me by my collar and gave me a good smack in the head and brought me to my mother, and she gave me another beating. But the point of the story is that the police officers in that era, uh, they were applauded. They were applauded for doing their job. A police officer in 2023 cannot smack a kid on the head, even if it's for his own good. Do you understand my point, Emery?
Yeah, I understand. Do you know what year though they did stop walking the beats and signing police officers to certain neighborhoods to walk
Okay,
around?
this is uh uh be being that I lived that era in the early 70s. In the early 70s, they eliminated all of that, and the
Really?
officers were just in their cars.
Why
But
did
like
they?
let's say,
Do you know
uh,
why they
I
eliminated it?
no, no, I have no idea.
Oh, all
But let me tell you, uh, cops that used to walk the beat, it was great because the people knew the officer. See, in New York City, it was from the shifts. The shifts were from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. from 4 in the afternoon to 12 at midnight, and from 12 at midnight to 8 o'clock in the morning. So we had three offices, the same three offices all the time in the neighborhood. That was I was born in 1955, so in the late 50s and the early 60s, uh, uh, I lived that experience. That was excellent. All the neighborhoods in New York were like that. The parents, uh, and all the business owners, they knew they knew the police officer, and the police officer knew us.
Tracy T said around the late 60s they stopped it. Just chilling, you funny, man. They said they stopped it in the late 60s. I wonder why they did that and put them all in cars. Because, like you said, it seems like a better idea. They know all the neighbors, you know. I wonder why they did that. Oh, would
And
they ever put it back that way? Would they ever go back to that doing that?
no, I don't think so, Emery. The world, instead of going forward, the world is going backwards, Emery. The world is going backwards.
Yeah, it seems it. Sons of
Go
Italy
ahead,
said,
Emery.
Sons of Italy says the cop on the beat in my neighborhood also carried a knife stick known as a billy club and carried a blackjack. Yes,
Right.
the community recognized everybody and knew that officer.
That is correct. That is correct. Sons of Italy and I are from the same era. Are from the same era.
Yes.
The only difference is that he is from Brooklyn and I am from the Bronx, but it's the same. It is the same culture, the same culture and customs and everything.
I'll listen to this one. Damn it, Mandy says after the 1970s, Knapp Commission investigations, NYC took most of its best beat cops off the street and placed them in cars. It was an effort to remove them from the temptations of being corrupted. Wow, that's
That is
interesting.
that is correct. Uh, what uh, what what Mandy is bringing up at that time, the Knapp Commission was interviewing Serpico. Serpico. Uh,
Oh, okay.
you see, uh, all them documentaries are on YouTube. But the Knapp Commission was created because of Serpico.
I remember that movie with Pacino.
Right,
He
right,
was from
right,
Greenwich Village, and they ended up letting him get shot.
right. That movie Serpico, a lot of the scenes that you see was filmed in the Bronx. Also,
Wasn't it supposed to be Greenwich Village, though? Like that he
no,
lived
no,
in?
okay, no, no. To be clear, the scenes of Greenwich. I'm sorry. Okay, the scenes of Greenwich Village are Greenwich Village. What I am saying is that many of the scenes that you see in the whole movie, some parts are from the Bronx. That's
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna give you one specific scene. There's a scene that Al Pacino is dressed all in white with a with a white hat. That that scene was filmed in a little park that's right in front of Yankee Stadium, and you can see in the film, you can see Yankee Stadium. It was filmed. That's a little park. That's uh, that little park still exists. It's on 161st Street, Grand Concourse, and that is in the Bronx near Yankee Stadium.
Is it a little league field or just a
No,
playground?
no, it's just okay. That park. I haven't been to that park. I haven't been to that park since I was a little kid. But in the movie, when they made the movie, that's just a regular park with benches
Okay.
and and the kids used to play there. Like you could play uh, hide and seek, and just run around and just run around. That was a beautiful park.
Yeah, I've been to Yankee Stadium, but I just don't remember too much of the scenery around.
Okay. Uh, uh, let me tell you. Let me tell you a little more. Where they built the new Yankee Stadium, that used to be a track field, and in the middle was a football field, and also it had a baseball. It had a baseball field called Babe Ruth Babe Ruth baseball field. Uh, I used to play. Uh, I used to play there, and that whole. To be clear, uh, where where the new stadium is, that was a complete park with track field, football field, and a baseball field, and a softball field also.
All right, because I remember before the Yankee games with Phil Rizzuto, they would show air shots of Yankee Stadium, and I
Right,
remember those little ball fields over there, seeing them on the air shots. But
right,
that's now
and
that because I've been to the last year. I went to the last Yankee Stadium game, and Yankee not the last game, but the last year I went there, and I went to the new one, but I haven't been there
right,
in a while.
and check this out. Uh, when the old stadium was there, behind the old stadium, that used to be called McCombs baseball field. They were there was another baseball field behind Yankee Stadium.
Really?
So yeah, that whole area, that whole
What was
uh,
the baseball field for though? Like Little League or?
right. It,
Oh,
it was used for Little League and Pony League, Little League and Pony League,
gotcha. All
and
right.
then and then and then the other field, which was Babe Ruth Park, uh, that was for like that was like for minor league. That was for minor league,
All right, the miners.
right? But let me tell you, that whole area, that whole area of Yankee Stadium, it was that's 161st Street, Jerome Avenue, and then it connects with the Grand Concourse. The whole Grand Concourse area, that used to be the Park Avenue of the Bronx. Uh, uh, when I was a little boy, only people of high income, only people of high income used to live in that area. That area was mostly populated by our Jewish brothers. That was what was well like 161st Street all the way to Fordham. That was mostly Jewish and Irish and Italian when 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 I was a kid. But that area now is completely different. It is no longer the Park Avenue of the Bronx, if you know what I mean.
What's there a lot of like yuppies and stuff now?
No, 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 no. What I am talking about, but I am not gonna mention names of uh, that area from the Park Avenue. It became a it became a garbage dump.
Oh, what a
It
shame.
became a garbage dump.
Well, they said New York's getting really bad nowadays. It had a big it did good in the 2000s. The 70s was real bad, the 80s, and they say it's getting really bad nowadays. I haven't been there, but that's what I hear.
See, Anne Marie, this is just my opinion with the utmost respect to everyone. The reason, the reason that we are going backwards, listen to me carefully. This is my own opinion, and I stand by this until the day I die. Liberalism, ha, uh, being, you can be liberal, but up to a certain point. Uh, we have gone overboard. We have gone overboard with liberalism, and with uh, and 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 politically correct. Politically correct has is destroying our nation, Emery.
Yeah, a lot of the comedians complain about that. They say I can't be a comedian no more because they say I can't make fun. It's their job is to make fun of things and to make people laugh. And if everybody gets offended over everything, it's kind of
Right.
hard to.
You see, Emery, uh, 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 a comedian, a comedian like Don Rickles
Yeah, he's one of my
would not.
favorites.
A comedian like Don Rickles would not survive. Would not survive in this era.
No, he wouldn't. I had all these Dean Martin celebrity roast on tape, and I used to watch them over and over. Especially anyone that Don Rickles was in, I would watch over and over because they were so funny, and they would all laugh and make jokes at each other. But they were all friends, and they all cared about each other. But you're right; he could never. If Don Rickles was trying to make it nowadays, he would never get a job. They would tell him never come back here to this club.
Right. And let me tell you something else, Emery. Even even Richard Pryor, may God bless his memory, one of the greatest African American comedians, he would not survive in this era also.
No.
Because we must be clear. We must be clear at all times. Not even Richard Pryor.
Or Eddie Murphy. When Eddie Murphy first came out, if he made Raw or Delusional, he made two specials, Raw and Delirious. He could never make them now. They would never put them on the air.
Right.
Just like Richard Pryor.
And also, Emery, right now, Dave Chappelle, thank God that Netflix gave him a contract to do a lot of concerts. If it wasn't for Netflix, Dave Chappelle, which is an excellent comedian, he would be unemployed.
Yeah, he would. They wouldn't hire him. Well, I think he had a big fight with the executives because he didn't want to wear a dress. They want him to wear a dress, and he's like, "This is my principles, my religion. I don't want to wear a dress," and he had every right not to.
And also this, Dave Chappelle, like a few years ago, he had a lot of problems with the so-called transgender community.
Yes.
And this is my own opinion with the utmost respect, and I do not mean to offend anyone. But God created only a man and a woman. Our God, our Lord thy God, did not create a third gender. So we must be clear. All this, and I'm sorry if I offend anyone. My intention is not to offend anyone, but I must be honest because I believe in God, and I must follow the rules of God. Emery, God only made a man and a woman. Did not make transgenders.
No, he didn't.
Go ahead, Emery. Go ahead.
No, yeah, there's only two genders. And it's a shame how they're pushing it on children in schools and propaganda. There's a thing that they're calling people now MAPS. What is it called? Minor attracted persons. It's getting really crazy out there with this stuff. It would have never flew back in your day. Those people would have been locked up real quick.
Emery, let me share this also with you. When I was a little boy, in the early '60s, listen to me carefully because this is the way it was. Little kids, little boys that were a little feminine, the parents back then used to tell the little boys, "You better man up," and they used to put them to play football in order. See, there's a lot of little boys, and I say this with respect, that grow up a little feminine. But back then, when me and Sons of Italy were young kids, the parents used to man up them kids and teach them, you cannot be like that. You must be a man. You must act like a man and walk like a man. And they used to put them in baseball teams and football teams. That way, that little boy can become a man. But nowadays, if a little boy has a feminine tendency, they buy him a Barbie doll. You cannot buy a boy a Barbie doll. It is wrong. Do you understand my point,
Oh,
Emery?
I get you totally. Back then, they would try to toughen the kid up, and he would fight through it, and he would learn his male tendencies. Nowadays, they indulge. Like, let's say, like you said, there's some boys who are not homosexual or nothing, but they're a little feminine in some areas. And nowadays, they indulge that and tell the kids there's something else. In the old days, like you said, they'd throw them on a football field, and the kid would be fine.
And let me tell you this, Emery, and this is a personal experience. I remember, like, I was around maybe 7 or 8, and I started playing. With my girl cousins, and my mother gave me the beating of my life. And she said, "Boys, do not play with girls." And that was the last time that I played with my girl cousins.
Mother Jimenez was a saint, boy. What a smart woman. All the
Let me tell you,
stories you tell about her, she was sharp.
and let me tell you, Emery, and I say that humbly. Uh, my aunts were all like that. My aunts were like U.S. Marine drill sergeants. Let me tell you, my uh, check this out, Emery, and I say this with all the love in my heart. One of my aunts, may God rest her soul. One of my aunts, the one with the bat, you remember the story I told you about that my aunt caught her husband
Yes,
with a lady neighbor in his car,
yeah,
and
the car she destroyed.
and she busted all the windows with the
Yeah.
bat.
Yes, I remember
Okay,
that.
my dear aunt, and this is a metaphor. My dear aunt could have been an enforcer for the Genovese family.
Tough gal.
Yeah, yeah. My aunt, that aunt in particular, she used to beat up her brothers because she wanted her brothers to walk the. She wanted her brothers to walk the straight line.
Was she the older sister, and she would discipline?
Right,
Gotcha.
right. Because I remember in the '60s, one of my uncles started drinking a lot, but my aunt, thank God, my aunt intervened. But the way she intervened, it was like World War III. She she took my uncle and she beat him up physically, and she said, "No more. You will drink once in a while. No more beer drinking." And no more alcoholism. It was he was cured. He was cured immediately.
No, you're right. The times have changed. When you were in school, do you remember any kids that were like that? Without saying anybody's name or specifics,
Yeah, yeah.
do you
There was
remember?
there was always a kid in the neighborhood. that was a little feminine, but at that time the kids in the neighborhood, they converted that kid into a man,
Gotcha.
because if not, he was going to get his ass kicked. Let us be clear. We must be clear, Emery. That's the way it was. Or you walk like a man, or you're going to the cemetery. I'm sorry, but I must be honest.
They don't. Yeah, see those old days, and that's why they produced a lot of good people and good men. It was like, your peers keep you in line and stuff like that. Nowadays, the teachers embrace all that, and the people. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I hope no one feels offended to what I am saying. I am just telling you what used to be. That is all. And to be clear, this channel, this channel respects the homosexual community. But I am just narrating. I am just narrating uh, my experiences as a young kid. But to be clear, this channel respects the homosexual the homosexual community. But to be clear, but we follow the rules of God. Here we do not discriminate, because I want to be clear, Emery, because by me making the comments I have made, they can strike my channel. They,
Yeah, they
they
can.
can strike our channel.
Well, I don't think they could be successful because you didn't use no slurs. You're just explaining how it was in the 1960s. If we were making slurs and ragging on them, then they could. But just explaining your opinion, as long as you're not using slurs or
Yeah.
saying anything violent, which you're not saying.
You see, Emery, the problem also of today, that many people, their skin is like butter,
Yeah,
and
very thin.
and you cannot have skin of butter. Those that have skin of butter cannot be on YouTube.
Scared of, but it's true though. So many people nowadays get offended over the easiest things. Well, they can't take a
Right,
joke. Well, everything
right,
offends them. It's like, wait, we're not talking about you. Just speaking in general.
right. And something very important also, Emery, that we must say it. All these statues of the Confederates. I do not agree. I do not agree that they should be taken down. That's part of our history.
Yeah, and
That
you
is
learn
part
from
of
it.
our history.
Yes, and you
And
learn from history. So what if you take it down? No one's going to know. You learn from history. So I don't think even the communist statues in Russia. I mean, parts of Russia that are no longer of the Soviet Union. They should leave them up too because people can go there and learn from the history of it.
that is correct. That is correct. And let me tell you something, Emery. I have no problem. I have no problem with the Confederate flag. That is part of history, because the South wanted to be an independent nation. All they wanted to do was to have an independent nation, and to be apart. There's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be independent. There is nothing wrong with that.
No, a lot of them went to after the war. A lot of them settled in Brazil and
Right.
South America. A lot they call them confederales, and to this day down in South America, they celebrate their old traditions of Southern Americans. You would call them. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. There's a few towns in South America that basically all the descendants left America because of the Civil War. Pretty interesting stuff.
Emery, can you check the chat to see the comments and any questions? Any questions? Can you please answer them, Emery?
Yeah, I don't see any. If anybody does have any questions, just ask them. I like this comment that Adam said. I was once a man stuck in a woman's body, and then my mother gave birth to me. I thought that was real funny.
And let me tell you this, Emery, like a show like All in the Family with Carol O'Connor, that show was excellent. That's one of the greatest TV shows in history. A show like All in the Family, they would not produce it. They would not produce it in this era, and that is sad.
All the Jeffersons, neither. The Jeffersons couldn't be played right now, neither.
Right, right.
They wouldn't play All in the Family, all the Jeffersons. There's a lot of shows that would never be. They would never play on the air nowadays. It blows your mind.
Emery, I have to do something for 10 minutes. Take over the show, Emery. I will be
Okay.
back in 10 minutes.
All right, I got it. Take your time. What's up, Mustang Mike? Yeah, Meathead. Yeah, that was what's his name? Rob Reiner, who played it. Yeah, those are good shows back in the 70s. I used to love Three's Company, All in the Family. I used to watch them on Nick at Night. All the old, that was before my time. I was born in 79. But I always watch all the old shows. I used to love Danny Thomas, all those shows. All right, there's a new documentary out, Nazi South America, gated communities. Yeah, I've seen a few of them, Roscoe, down there. A lot of Germans went to South America after the war, many of them. A lot of those South American countries were allied with the Germans in trade and other things. Jack the Ripper was great. Oh, Jack Tripper. Yeah, Jack Tripper was funny. What's his name? John Ritter. God rest his soul. My sister and niece met him in New York. They were standing in line at some place to eat, and he was behind them. And he heard my sister and niece going, "That's the guy from Three's Company, and we should ask him something." And he's like, "Yeah, you can ask me." And they talked to him. They said he was a very nice, outgoing guy. Very cool. Geez. Definition of Meathead, dead from the neck up. Yeah. I wasn't a fan of Meathead and Gloria. Put it that way. It was a funny show, though. Those old shows. What's up, Zio? Those old shows were great. Yeah, he's right. Richard Pryor would not be able to do his specials nowadays. Like I was saying earlier, Eddie Murphy Raw. There's no way they would. If Eddie Murphy just came out, he could never do Raw. Eddie Murphy Raw. He made fun of too many people. They wouldn't let it go. I seen that before. Remember Odessa, Jewish crew. Odessa. Yeah, they were hunting down 90-year-old people and 80-year-old people. It got to the point where they were hunting down anybody from Germany. Mustang. Rob Reiner. Yeah, he does. What movie? He makes movies nowadays. He made a few movies with what's that actor? Can't think of it. I think it's Ben Stiller, I believe. He made some movies with him. But Ritter died about 10 years ago. Richard Pryor, they kill everybody in the house because they were home. Ever see that joke he did where he took the match? He goes, "What is this?" And he took a match and he made it like it was like running. He's like, "That's me running down the street after I did drugs." Oh, A Few Good Men. Yeah, that was Rob Reiner. Okay. Yeah, you can't handle the truth. Yeah, that was about a code red they called on somebody. I don't know why they called the code red on the guy. I'm not sure, but they called a code red. A code red is when, like, from the movie Full Metal Jacket, where, like, everybody hits you with a bar of soap or beats you up in a corner. They don't have that in the military no more. I highly doubt it. That's nuts. The twins. I know what you're talking about, Roscoe. The twin experiments. Yes, with Mangala. They believed I believe that's the name. But there's a town in South America that has more twins per capita than any other place in the world. Any other place in the world, it's got more twins per capita. It's just crazy. More than any other. Who knows what the guy was doing? Like, who knows? There's a good movie called Boys from Berlin where he was, I don't know, he was making the eyes white or something, but it was a pretty good movie. They had Dobermans in it. He got ripped apart by the Dobermans in the end of the movie. It was pretty cool. But a lot of the movies nowadays, I'm looking forward to that Napoleon movie. His name, he escaped and died drowning in Brazil in the 1970s. Yeah, I don't know how he died. I thought they caught him and hung him. I'm not sure. He escaped from drowning in Brazil in the 70s. Yeah, I'm not sure. But they had a lot of there's right now down in Argentina, there's all Germanic communities down there. There's all Italian communities. You have a lot of different European ethnicities down in Argentina and Paraguay and stuff like that. Big time. There's a high school football team that might lose their season because of hazing. Really? But what was the hazing of, Mike? Like, what were they doing? Just like throwing powder on people and kicking people in the rear end? Because I think there's different forms of hazing. Like some kid got lit on fire one time. That's a little extreme. But hazing is just like a unnatural thing football players do, I guess. But burning somebody is not normal. Roscoe says, Mike, what's hazing? Hazing is where like let's say a new football player comes on the team, they're all like throw powder on him and throw him in the shower, maybe throw some shampoo on him, busting his chops. They had sophomore boxing matches. Oh, really? Oh, so they were having boxing matches. I don't see what's so bad about boxing matches. I don't get that. They're only boxing. They're not doing pulling a Tony Rezko and putting cast friggin' clay in their gloves. Yeah, I know he is, Kid Rock. They all are. They all are. Minnie the Mucho, what's up? Yeah, 2023, ain't it? Wait till it gets to wait till 2033. Forget about it. If you think it's crazy now, that's when they're going to stop pushing the real stuff, the Todd Nickerson maps. They're already doing it now. They're trying to add maps to the alphabet letters. And they're going to succeed with it. It's going to take them another 10, 15 years, but they'll succeed. If you went back to Edwin's time 30 years ago and you told them what was going on right now 50 years ago, they would never believe you. If you went to a 21-year-old Edwin Jimenez and told him right now about the Storybook Hour and everything else, they would not believe you. If I went back to my father in 1989 and told him this would happen, he would not believe me. That's how they do it. Slow progression. Slow progression. It's pretty twisted. But there's nothing what can you really do? Stroke while swimming. He had switched identities with another SS, his dental records. Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, he had him and Otto Skorzeny too. They've had funerals for them in the 70s where you see their old comrades saluting them over their graves. A lot of the old ones died there. Roscoe in a football camp in the mid-'80s. Some kids would be in prison. Football camp. Do they still have the football camps now? I think they have a few of them up in Massachusetts, like summer football camps for the kids. I think they have Some boxing camps, baseball camps, all stuff like that. You got to pay a lot of money to go there, though. It's not cheap. So the average kid, city kid or country kid, can't afford that. Real expensive. He says, maybe Moocher, it's been a minute. Roscoe went to football camp. We used to have the camps up here, but we had Camp Massasoit. Camp Massasoit was named after the Massasoit Wampanoag chief from the first Thanksgiving. It was actually King Philip's father. Well, Metacom's father. And it was a camp where you go in the canoes, you can do archery, you play sports, all that kind of stuff. But you go there at 8 in the morning and then come home later. And then we had Johnston Memorial Park Camp, where we would go there and like all our older cousins and older pals would be the counselors and stuff like that. You go on field trips to Rocky Point. Rocky Point's that amusement park I showed videos of. They would take us there in the summertime. I remember one time we went there, and I actually left with my cousins. Man, the next day I came back to camp, they were screaming, like, you took off on us. They almost kicked me out. But luckily they didn't. Canada's expensive. Yeah, real expensive. I have a friend that sent his kid to cheerleading camp, and oh boy, and it cost him a lot of money. On Raya, yeah, football team got kicked out of the league for chasing the referee. He rated the match, 2 minutes to go. Vacation helped. High-ranking German officer escaped to Germany, ended up in South America, Germantown. Yes, Sons of Italy. The Vatican. They helped. There's a movie called The Scarlet and the Black. You should watch it. You might have seen it. Gregory Peck was in it. I mean, what's his name? Gregory Peck. It was called The Scarlet and the Black. Excellent movie. It's about this Italian priest who was first helping Jews escape Italy. And then when the Germans were wanted, he was helping the Germans escape. So he helped both people escape. Anybody who needed refuge or help, he would help. He didn't care what side you're on, politics, what. He would help anybody escape. And the Vatican totally helped a lot of Germans flee to South America. And rightfully so, if you think about it. Look what the Soviet Union did to the Germans after the war. They raped the whole population. They tortured the population. The communists made them pay. And the average people, not just the politicians, average people. The Red Army was very vicious, very vicious.
Emery.
Yes.
Emery, please forgive me for interrupting you. Emery, can you stay on the air for a half an hour more?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I ask you now, I would like to invite Sons of Italy. Sons of Italy. I am gonna paste the link, and I want Sons of Italy, my dear friend, to join us in the panel. Would that be okay, Emery?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Sons of Italy's a great guy.
Okay, Sons of Italy. I'm gonna paste the link for you. Just press it. That way you can. We want to hear your experiences when you were a young kid in Brooklyn. So I'm gonna paste the link for Sons of Italy, and anyone else that's in the chat, is also welcome to be on the panel. I'll be back, Emery.
Right.
I'm gonna go to the magic vault now.
Okay, all right, I can take care of it. Well, what high school did you go to, Sons of Italy? Did you go to that same high school of Welcome Back Carter? Because they were from Brooklyn, Welcome Back Carter. And how far was that high school from you? Hey there, man, the Vatican Bank, it's called the Rat. Yes, Kid Rock, the Rat Line. You know what you're talking about. Yep, the Rat Line, it was called. They've snuck in many people out of Europe to South America, America, all kinds of stuff like that. You guys take football serious as it comes. Which state? Well, the Southerners do. I know that. They love high school football down there. When I would visit my cousins down there, high school football was like the biggest thing around. Like I remember going on dates with these girls, and I'm like, well, what do you want to do for fun? Can you take me to the high school football game? I'm like, what? I've never, where I'm from, no girls want to go to the high school football game. I was just like, wow, they really love high school football down there. It's huge. The Vatican orders to help high-ranking German officers to escape Germany to South America. Yes. Oh, I love the tree. That's Edwin's granddaughter's tree. Beautiful tree, too. You keep the house spotless. Mother Jimenez does a great job. In Texas, they have 30,000 fans of high school football games. That's crazy, man. 30,000 fans. That's nuts. Up here, I would say the top sport up here would be baseball. Everybody's real big with baseball up here. We've had a lot of good baseball players come from Rhode Island. We had Davey Lopes, who was, I believe, a second baseman for the Dodgers in their World Series teams back in the 70s. Davey Lopes was from South Providence. Paul Konerko was I know he's a Florida guy, but he was originally born in Johnston, Rhode Island. Paul Konerko was he's technically from Rhode Island, Paul Konerko, but really he grew up in Florida, but just born here. Hazing is like when a new kid moves it. Yes, like a new kid into the neighborhood. Yes, gets a beat and becomes that's exactly how it is. Yep. But nowadays, kids can't even be kids no more. If one kid pushes another kid at a playground, their parents are calling the police, or the parents will fight with each other. Like I know how many times I've seen adults like become enemies and fight with each other, and then their kids become friends a week later, and then the parents still hate each other. I've seen that so many times. It's ridiculous. Yes, Rocco Baldelli. Rocco Baldelli's little brother was allergic to peanuts, and he couldn't go to the games. Yeah, Rocco Baldelli was from Lincoln, Rhode Island. I remember before he went pro, everybody used to brag about him. He was from Lincoln, Rhode Island. Yeah, his little brother couldn't go to the game for years until they cleaned out. They had to clean the friggin' stands out and allow no peanuts for weeks to let the kid come watch his brother play sports. When you're allergic to peanuts, that's no joke. That can really kill you.
Emery, the link is in the chat for Sons of Italy, and anyone else that's in the chat is welcome to join Sons of Italy, my nephew and myself on the panel. You are all welcome. I can fit up to 10 people. on the panel. But the link is for Sons of Italy and anyone else that wants to come up. You are all welcome. I would like to hear the opinions of everyone. So Sons of Italy, press the link. Go ahead, Emery. Go ahead.
Rocco said 30,000 at a high school game. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty incredible. Urban sharing and G3 last high school football game, homecoming, most important game of the regular season. Yeah, the homecoming games. I remember the pep rallies they had in school. They actually have I was going to stream it one day. They have the class of 1987 high school class, which was my cousin's class year. And I knew all the seniors that year and the undergrads, I knew a lot of them kids. I watch it on YouTube all the time. It's called Johnston High School Class of 1987. I watch it at least once every 2 or 3 months. And I see all my cousin's friends, and my cousin dropped out, but he should have graduated. But I see all my cousin's friends and stuff like that, kids that I used to see in my grandmother's backyard at keg parties. There's a few people there that died in the station nightclub fire. It's pretty cool. You listen to all the 80s music. It's real good. One day I'll stream and I'll point out all the people I know.
Emery, check out this comment from David James. David James says, I hear drill sergeants are getting phone calls from parents complaining about their child's treatment. It's unbelievable.
How are we going to win any wars? How are we going to fight if we have all weak people like that? That's amazing. What a shame.
Emery, Mandy, press the link, Mandy. Sons of Italy, come on, press that link. Everyone, press the link. It is easy. You press it, you read and follow directions until you get here to heaven paradise. To heaven paradise.
Do you have any of your yearbooks, Uncle Edwin, or anything like that? Yearbooks?
No. The only thing I have left is a school photo because my yearbooks and everything, they were burnt. They were burnt in a fire in the Bronx.
Well, when you get a chance, post some pictures when you were in your 20s or something. I think people would enjoy seeing them.
Okay. Emery, come on, people. Let's press the link. Press the link. I want to hear we want to hear the opinions. Your opinions is important here on this channel. So people press, Emery, no one wants to press the link. What's going on? Can it be the Aquavelva?
It might be the Aquavelva. I think it's probably a lot of people when they're watching these, they're either in bed, laying down, or probably just not. A lot of people that watch are not talkative, you know. Most people I found that watch the channels, not many participate, you know. It's just some people's personalities. They just like being watchers. And for some people, it's intimidating to get up there and talk. They never jumped up on YouTube before. So there's a lot of people that are a little microphone shy or YouTube shy, I would say. And then there's other people who do like joining. I guess it's the night you got to catch them.
Emery, let's see. Adam, press the link, Adam. Press the link. Let's see if Adam wants to come up. Come on, Adam, press the link. Press the link.
Adam just said back in the day you could knock someone off a bar stool, buy them a beer, and everything's good. Today they closed down the bar.
Emery, I want to share this with you. Tomorrow, if God permits, tomorrow will be today. Wait. Okay. Today is Monday. Okay, tomorrow would be Tuesday. Tuesday at 1 in the morning. We will have Kid Rock. And Mr. Emmy. They will be on live doing their show for a complete hour, Emery.
Oh, interesting. If I'm not working, I'll tune in if I'm not working. Sometimes I'm working and I can't tune in. Hopefully I'll be around to watch it.
It'll be Kid Rock in his comeback presentation by popular demand with Mr. Emmy. Mr. Emmy will be doing his first live ever. All the tickets are sold, and don't forget Kid Rock and Mr. Emmy. I get 20% of all the tickets.
Who is Mr. Emmy? I never heard of him.
Mr. Emmy is from the state of Maine.
Oh, interesting. New England,
And
like me. He's a
yeah,
New Englander.
he's a very nice gentleman, very down to earth. Uh, uh, he is. I think he is like around. He is like 10 years younger than. He is 10 years younger than me. But but a very nice gentleman, and also Kid Rock. Excellent, excellent. So Kid Rock, don't forget. Put on your Bella Lugosi tuxedos. Hold on, Emery. We have a guest, Emery. We have a guest. Finally. Hold on, Emery. Go ahead. Wait. Let me see. Let me see who is the mystery guest. Okay. We have Sons of Italy. Sons of Italy is here. Let me put out the red carpet. Let me put out the red carpet, Emery. Hold on, Sons of Italy. The great Sons of Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, Sons of Italy, my dear friend, since 1955.
Thank you.
Welcome, Sons. Welcome.
Thank you. My pleasure. Hello, Murray.
How you doing, Sons of Italy?
How you doing, buddy? No, I didn't go to that school of Welcome Back College. No, I would have liked to, but my school was very similar to that. See, I went to a trade school.
It's hard to hear you, huh?
I hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, let me punch out and I'll come right back again.
I think it's Uncle Edwin's thing keeps going making noises.
Quite a bit distortion on his end. I think it is so.
You might want to mute Uncle Edwin.
I'm sorry?
You might want to mute. It's making a lot of noise.
Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to mute myself. That way you and Sons of Italy could have a good conversation. I'm muting myself.
Now, what were you saying about your high school, Sons of Italy?
Yeah, no, I didn't go to the school of, I just forget the name.
Welcome Back, Carter.
Yeah, Welcome Back, Carter. But it was quite similar. I went to a trade school in a very, very tough neighborhood. I had to take 4 trains to get there and also 4 trains to go home.
Wow, 4 trains? So what time did you have to be in and how early did you have to wake up?
We started at 8 o'clock, so I left at about, about 6:45. Now remember, this is subways. This is all New York City transit subways, So it took me, I had to get there before homeroom, which is 8 o'clock. So I was usually there on time, but most times I was late.
Or you have to wake up a few hours earlier.
Absolutely, I have to travel. Sure, I have to travel.
There was no bus that could have took you?
No, it was all, I could have, but it would have been a lot longer taking a bus and a train. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. Besides my friend dying yesterday, getting stabbed.
I am very, very sorry for your loss. I'm sure he was a close friend, man.
Yeah, I've known him for a long time. It's sad.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to his family.
Yeah.
Really goes out to his family. It's terrible. But, life's crazy. So
wrong time for wrong place, so to speak, man. It's you never know what's going to happen to us.
No, you don't. I knew one guy about 3 years ago. He was a neighbor of mine, and he went in to get a coffee at a coffee shop slash gas station. And as he was getting the coffee, a mentally ill person pulled out a knife and stabbed him to death. Yep, it was about 5 years ago. It happened 4 or 5 years ago. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, you say I live in a little town right now. I'm in South Dakota.
Yeah.
I've been out here for 26 years, but that's neither here nor there. But my point is what I want to say that all of the chaos and the nonsense that you see on the news is not happening where I live. It's only happening in the blue states, not in the red states.
You're right.
This state happens to be strictly red state.
Yeah, this is a blue state over here, and let me tell you, they have, like I said, people who should be institutionalized, like in a mental hospital, just running free, living on the streets, and they stabbed one of my neighbors a few years ago. It was nuts.
It's it's worse than the OK Corral these days, I tell you.
Yeah, it is. And you're right; these blue states are out of control.
Out of control is not the word. That's an understatement, my good friend. I want to say hello to everybody in the chat room. Other than that, I'm just hanging out. It's a lazy Sunday.
Yeah.
Everyone was on, so I says, "Well, let me pop on. Well, let me pop on the show. Let me
You know what I was going to ask you? That Welcome Back Carter one, that was a real high school, correct? And you know where it was?
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I didn't live close to there, but it was in Brooklyn. I live by Coney Island area. Should say Bay around there. Coney Island should say Bay. I'm from Gravesend.
Oh, you're from Gravesend, Brooklyn.
Yeah, I grew up with a lot of serious people. That was the neighborhood at that time. And at that time, when I was growing up, it was a different world. You understand, I was born in 55. I'm 68 years old. And actually, I'm in my 69th year because I'll be 69 in a few months.
God bless you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Did you ever play in that graveyard as a kid?
No, but I've been there many times. It's
a very old historical graveyard.
That's right. That's right. Been there since 1600s now.
Yes, since the 1600s, the Dutch, because New York used to be New Amsterdam. It was a Dutch colony originally.
That's right. That is correct. So in my neighborhood where the Bronx Tale was filmed, I'm sure you've seen it at the end when those kids got all burnt up by those mocktail cocktails.
When they tried to burn down a record store.
Right down the block from my parents' house. So the reason why I'm saying that is that area is Gravesend, but that street, which is a real street location, it was done in the evening. I happened to be on that set because my parents lived right down the block from there. That time I was living in Long Island. And I was on the set that night.
Interesting.
Also, yeah.
How many takes did it take to do that?
Quite a few takes because they were there since quite a few days. They were filming the part when that young lad, what was his name? That was kind of like the African American girl when they were younger kids. I forget his name.
Cogito or something.
That is correct. I met Chaz on that set, Robert De Niro. He wasn't in a good mood, Bobby, at that time. It was cold. It was in November. It was just like maybe 2 weeks before Thanksgiving time. It was cold. Oh, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, back in those days growing up, I didn't need ID for cigarettes. Cigarettes was 26 cents a packet those days. If you wanted to go on, maybe take the train, the body token was 15 cents. Everything that I did was mostly on $1. So I had enough money to get 2 tokens, which is a round trip going and coming home, a pack of cigarettes, enough money still to go to the beach, right? While I was on the beach, I have a hot dog, a pop, a soda, maybe a Knish. And I still had change after when I came home, all on $1. There was no such thing as ID. I would walk in, get anything I want, because everybody knew that, everybody in the neighborhood. And that time, neighborhoods were very safe, not only because of the police on the beat, which everybody knew, and he's like, the beat cop. He was there at nighttime, then had another shift where another guy would come, in the nighttime, and there were always beat cops in the neighborhood. And it's true, everybody in the community got to know those cops. And neighborhoods were safe because certain subculture groups, were there, and it was very safe neighborhoods. I mean, they were there for the community as well as for the people. But the wise guys I'm talking about, and it was never any trouble. But at the same time, it was a tough neighborhood.
I remember talking to you and stand-up guy that time on the channel, and you used to tell me some real cool stories about the movies and all that stuff. That was a good conversation I had with you guys.
A lot of great stories. All of them are true because I've been on, not all on the sets while he was working, but I would have to say a lot. I was there a lot on the sets. He would call me in the summertime, in the wintertime, man, what are you doing? Why don't you come down 72nd Street, Midtown, blah, blah, blah. We're doing a live shooting, location, Al Pacino, whoever it may be. He's done a lot of movies. He's been on the Raging Bull. If you watch the movies, well, man, I can name so many. I can't even name them now. Right now, there's so many
So
movies.
with that night you were watching
Yeah.
the Bronx Tale one, what were you all just sitting outside watching them do all the takes, and how did they light the car on fire?
Well, it was kind of taken in takes. It wasn't like just one scene. Uh, but it was done very well. There's a lot of takes, of course, and of course they take it to the studio, and of course they edited all that and they put it all together.
Did they have to burn a few cars or just one?
Well, I think they only had one car that was ready, and I didn't see another car, and I think they kind of rehearsed it. But of course, they didn't have to burn the car. They kind of rehearsed it, and that's how I think they did it. Because I wasn't there for
And is
that.
it true that the Bronx Tale was not filmed in the Bronx? It was filmed in Brooklyn, like you said, right?
Some of it was filmed. Well, the ending I know was filmed in my neighborhood. Uh, it was filmed on Neck Road. Now, Neck Road is very interesting. As they were building the grid back at that time, I would say in the 1800s, early 1800s, maybe 1700s. Taking a guess, I think
The
early
Brooklyn
1800s.
Bridge?
No, when they're building the grid around my neighborhood, that area was called Neck Road, where they filmed that scene.
Oh,
Still, when those kids all got torched up, by the gasoline of the mocktail cocktails. Well, while they were building that, they found a lot of bones. Those bones, which is called Neck Road, Gravesend Avenue, is because they found an abundance of Native American bones. Used to be a graveyard for Native American bones. They found
oh,
all. That's how they got the name Gravesend Avenue.
oh, all right, interesting. Yeah, because a lot of
Yeah,
people don't realize they think the Native Americans all buried their people like the Western Indians did
uh,
out in the West, where they buried them above ground. A lot of Eastern
in
tribes,
trees. Yes, in trees. Yes.
yes, in tree, but a lot of
Yeah.
Eastern tribes did bury their people underground.
On the ground. Right, 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 right.
The
Even
other
though they're
one,
all Native Americans, remember that they fought each other too many times for land and feed.
oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
that's what they were always at
yeah,
war with each other.
yes, 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 yes,
Mankind,
yes.
no matter what continent you go to, was always civil strife and trying to kill each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, the Native Americans have a fantastic history. I know a lot of Native Americans up there because I live. Hey man, this is South Dakota. This is
Big
I don't know
Indian
how to
country.
say it. Yeah, this is yeah. I'll call it Cowboys and Indian country. Absolutely, and this state has a great history of that. You know, so I'm
Yeah,
a
we have it too up in Rhode Island. We have the Narragansett
I know
Indians,
you do.
the
Yes,
Nipmuc, the Niptuck. We had King Philip's War up here, so we have a lot of great Native American history up here
yes,
and
yes.
colonist history.
I'm not far from Deadwood, South Dakota. It's like 20 minutes away by car.
Yeah, you told me that before. Deadwood, man, I love that show.
Yeah, it's a very interesting town. Um, there's a cemetery up there. It's Moriah Cemetery,
So Hickok's buried.
where Wild Bill Hickok is buried, and also Calamity Jane.
Yep.
The Chinese have been buried there since the very, very late 1700s, going into the 1800s. Because remember, the Chinese helped build
The railroad.
the railroad, and there still are Chinese families that do live in Deadwood today as we speak.
Yeah, that's how we get Chinese food in America. In China, they don't eat Chinese food like
No,
what we
no, no,
think of
no,
it.
no. No, no, they don't. In
So
China,
technically, this is Chinese American food.
America, just like American Italian food. I remember as a kid, yeah, as a kid, I would go to a Chinese restaurant. I was a kid, and I would order some Chinese food, from the list that my brother would give me. So, he would ask me, "Hey, let's take a walk to the Chinese restaurant, and this is what I want." Now, when I walked in, I always remember seeing the family in the back, which they probably lived in the back or maybe upstairs, who owned the Chinese restaurant. And what I seen was not on the menu. They don't eat what we see on. In other words, that they don't see that they don't eat what's on the Chinese menu. They don't touch it
No, no, they don't.
because I seen something that was totally different, and I knew the menu very well. So the moral of the story is they really don't eat what they serve to American Chinese food, kind of, because I've seen a lot of Italian restaurants also do that. Their families will eat in the back like a small
Well,
mom.
Deadwood's got some great history. I remember you were telling me before about that, about you've seen that cemetery and before, and I know a lot about Deadwood and all that stuff. Seth Bullock, and he was good
Yeah,
friends
Seth
with
Bullock.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, there's also a historic hotel that's called the Franklin. John Wayne's been there. Also, Teddy Roosevelt and the
Yep.
Rough Riders were there, and a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, Roosevelt used to go there to visit Seth Bullock.
That's right. That's right. Back in the day. That's right, Teddy. We worked on an old cabin of oh, it was in Wyoming, arm's reach of Devil's Tower. I have pictures. That was quite a few years ago, and there was a plaque. There was actually a plaque on this old wooden log cabin. So we were able to restore it. It's always been a tourist area. There were a whole bunch of payphones out there and pamphlets and maps and stuff and some history, for tourists. And so we kind of restored it. And arm's reach of Devil's Tower, there's a plaque that says Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders settled there back in 18 something. It was quite interesting. Also, looking at Devil's Tower is unbelievable. Also,
Yeah, I wish I could get out there and see that stuff. There's so much. I wish I was had a lot of money where I could go travel and see all the different historical sites
yeah,
and
me too.
YouTube
I love
it.
to go to pyramid, or whatever, Egypt, man. Look at those
Oh,
wonderful
Khufu's
people.
pyramid, the big one, Khufu's
Yeah,
pyramid. I'd love to
oh,
go in
man.
there. That
Uh,
they say that's a site that would blow your mind. You know, we
we love to
couldn't build
go,
that
yeah,
today.
I love stuff like that. We love to go see the Colosseum in Rome, man, the Vatican, places
Yeah.
like that. The Great
Ever
Wall.
hear of Machu Picchu?
Yeah, I'm very familiar, man. Of course.
It's in South America. It's a
Yes.
city built way up in the Andes Mountains. It was, and we could not build that today. There's blocks, there's rocks that are size of a house.
They weigh
It's
tons.
it's amazing.
They weigh tons. Even the biggest machinery today couldn't even build the pyramids. So they
No, we
know the
couldn't get in
pyramids were
there.
built.
We wouldn't be able to do it. Whatever
No, no, no. Those
technology.
things, no, man, tons and tons of each block. The foundation weighed tons of the granite. And plus, they had to go to a quarry that was miles away. How did they get it back to the destination where they were going to build these pyramids? Unbelievable.
Yeah, nobody
Unbelievable.
knows. That's a mystery. A total mystery. People think they use pulleys. Who knows what they
Well,
use?
yeah, who knows? But there are some,
Ancient text.
yeah, a lot of stuff left by the Romans that were carved into stone that they had cranes and pulleys and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Just like they did in the years of the Colosseum when they rose all those animals up there, the tigers and the
Yeah, the pulleys that they used in the basement of the
yeah,
Coliseum to pull
the
them up to the
basement.
floor.
That's right, down below we'll call it.
Yes,
I mean, the
below the
technology is
Coliseum.
unbelievable. Yeah, also they filled up the Colosseum when they had real live wars
Mock
of
naval
battleships.
battles. Yeah, well, they had
Unbelievable.
the reenactment of the Battle of Actium with
Interesting.
Antony
Tell me
and
more.
Octavian.
Tell me more, man. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it was it's called the Flavian Amphitheater. It was actually built by the Emperor Vespasian. He was the first of the Flavian emperors. He became emperor after the year of the four emperors with Nero, and when Nero had this big palace that got burnt down and stuff, and after Nero's fire, they had enough room to build the Flavian Amphitheater, and the Emperor Vespasian had it built,
Yeah.
and that must have been amazing to see that in its prime.
It's unbelievable. Listen, I have a question. When the Colosseum was built, now each time there was a different emperor or Caesar, it was expanded, correct?
No,
No.
no, it was not expanded or nothing
Tell
like
me.
that. They might
Tell
have,
me.
done some more things like extra seats or something, but no, it wasn't expanded or nothing like
How
that. With
many years did it take the Romans to build such a beautiful Colosseum like that?
I believe the Colosseum maybe something like 25 years, under 20 years, I believe. I'm not sure. Maybe
about the
even
pyramids?
faster.
How about the pyramids now?
I'm not sure with the pyramids. I don't know about that part of Egyptian history.
Well, we know they weren't built overnight, right?
No. Definitely not. Those things are monstrous.
Emory and Sons of Italy. We have been on the air almost 2 hours already, but before I close the telecast, Sons of Italy, I want to tell you, Sons of Italy, this is your channel, Sons of Italy. Whenever you want to come on, Sons of Italy, this is your house. If you ever want to do a live, you can do it here if you want to. And you are like family, Sons of Italy. You are like family, and you are very dear to my heart. But Sons of Italy, before I close the telecast, can you give us an update on your dating life? What is going on in your love life, and when are you going to get married?
Well, I don't know about getting married, but I do know a lovely lady, a lady friend of mine, and we've been together for quite a spell. And we don't see each other every day because she works. She's got a life, I got a life, but we see a lot.
Okay. Sons of Italy, can you give your closing statement for our distinguished audience?
Yeah. I always say, be good to yourself and treat others better, and also keep your dream also alive, man, whatever it may be.
Well, God bless you, Sons of Italy. It was great talking to you.
You bet, man. My pleasure to meet you again. Everyone, as always, with love, MRE, stay well and be happy.
God bless.
Thank you, man.
God bless you always, sons. God bless you always.
Thank you very much, man. We'll see you on the rebound, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. MRE, before you give your closing statement, I want to tell everyone this in good faith. If you those that have loved ones that have passed away, the best way to honor your loved one that has passed away, if you're Catholic, send them a holy mass in their name. That is the best way to honor a loved one that has passed away. If you're not Catholic, consult with your pastor, with your rabbi, or with the people that run your church. And also, once in a while, it is good to go visit them at the cemetery and bring white flowers.
Amen.
So that is the best way. That is the best way to honor that is the best way to honor your loved ones. And very important, and I want to stress this, very important, we must, here on YouTube, this is for everyone, because I see sometimes here on YouTube, a lot of people, they disrespect the dead. And that is a mortal sin. This is very important. One thing is when the person was alive, but once the person passes away, they belong to God's world. And they are under God's rule. So we must, here on YouTube, we must respect the dead. Because also, MRE, I have heard people say, going to the cemetery to piss on someone's grave, going to the cemetery to dig up bones, that is a mortal sin. And those people, those individuals that express themselves like that, that is a sin. Just saying it, it is a sin. And to be clear, all cemeteries are sacred ground. When you go to a cemetery, you must go with respect and honor. Those that tamper in cemeteries, doing bad things, uh, it is also a felony by law. It is also a felony by law, and those people that tamper with cemeteries, they will receive the highest punishment of God. So the cemetery and the dead must be respected and is sacred. It is sacred. I want to make that clear, and I also want to make clear this channel, this channel respects the homosexual community, but this channel is dedicated to God and to the Holy Mother. So this channel follows the rules of God, but we respect, we do not discriminate, and we wish the best for the homosexual community with the utmost respect always. If I have expressed myself, if anyone has felt offended, it was not my intention, and please accept my sincere apologies. I do not mean to offend anyone. I am just saying, I am just talking about experiences of the past. I want to make that clear. Go ahead, Emery.
I just tell everybody, thanks for coming and watching tonight, and thanks Uncle Edwin for honoring my friend who passed away. R.I.P. to him. And I'll leave with the Our Father real quick. Nome Padre et Filii Spiritus Sancti. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. And God bless you all. And say a prayer for my friend's family.
Emery, before you leave, if you can, uh, go go to the parish rectory, and when you have a chance, send a holy mass in the name of Otis. You can give $5 or $10 to the priest.
Yeah, I've had them done before. I've had holy masses done for family members and an ex-girlfriend's father.
Okay, Emery. And Emery, as always, I give you a kiss on the forehead and a big hug. And you are very dear to my heart. Keep safe. And I am with you always until the day that I die and after I die also.
All right, Uncle Edwin, I love you. You're the best, and God bless everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you for coming, Emery, and I appreciate your help. And everyone, God bless you all, and thank you for coming. And again, I want to apologize if I have said something that anyone has felt offended. It was not my intention. I am just talking about the way that I grew up. But if I offended anyone, please accept my sincere apologies. I have respect for everyone, and I want the best for everyone. I want the best for everyone. Now I'm going to say good night individually to everyone, because everyone is important on this channel. And this is for everyone. If you want an hour to do your own show on this channel, you are welcome. All you have to do is let me know. Let me know 2 days in advance. That way I can promote your show and do your thumbnail and everything. And also, if you decide to activate your own channel, I will help you also with the little experience that I have and what I have learned. I will share it with you. And to be clear, I want everyone to be clear. Everyone is a content creator on YouTube. Everyone in this chat is a content creator. You have the right and you have the power. You have the power in your hands to activate your own channel at any time. To be clear, you are all content creators and you all deserve to be treated with the utmost respect and courtesy at all times. And also, my advice as a father and grandfather, everyone get away from channels that promote gossip, drama, and turmoil. That is toxic. That is toxic for the spirit and for the mind. People that are involved in gossip, drama, and turmoil constantly. Uh, what they are really doing, they are calling the devil in. They are calling the devil in their lives, and their lives will be miserable. So everyone, stay away from channels like that. Channels like that are not productive, and they're violating YouTube policies and procedures. Uh, promote, watch, and participate in positive channels that you can learn, that you can have a good time, that you can have a few laughs. But 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 uh, but try to stay out of the drama, the turmoil, and the gossip. That is not good. That is not good. So let me say good night. Big hug, Kid Rock. A big hug, and thank you for coming, Adam. As always, thank you. Sons of Italy, thank you. Minnie the Moocher, thank you, Minnie. Hold on, I don't want to miss no one because everyone is important. Thank you, David James. Thank you, David James. And this is your channel, David. This is your channel. And again, I want to repeat it. If anyone wants to do an hour live by or herself, I give you the opportunity here. And if you want to activate your channel, I will help you also. I want everyone to have their own channel. Mustang Mike, thank you, and a big hug. Okay, Mustang Mike. Okay. I'm scrolling backwards. Roscoe, God bless Scotland. A big hug for your father and your whole family. And thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And let's hear them Scottish pipes. And also my dear friend, Charles Sullivan. Charles Sullivan, the pride of the Irish. So we got the Irish and we got the Scottish. A big hug for Charles Sullivan. Charles, let's hear them Irish bagpipes also. And thank you for coming, Charles. Okay. I don't want to miss no one. I'm scrolling backwards. Okay. Mandy, and Mother Mandy. A big hug and fresh red roses always. Fresh red roses always, and a kiss on the forehead for you and your dear mother. With the utmost respect always. And Minnie the Moocher, a kiss on the forehead, Minnie, with the utmost respect. Okay. Hold on, everyone. I'm scrolling backwards. Mustang Mike, a big hug. And God bless everyone. Keep safe, everyone. Okay, wait. And I want to thank Sons of Italy and my nephew Emery for helping me on the panel. Okay, wait. I don't want to miss no one. Okay, that's it. Okay, everyone. God bless you all. Please keep safe. Please keep safe always. And if God permits, if God permits, today's Monday. Tomorrow at 1 a.m. Kid Rock Live with Mr. Emmy. Kid Rock Live and Mr. Emmy. Please support Kid Rock and Mr. Emmy tomorrow, right here on our channel. Okay, everyone. God bless you all and thank you.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone for main engine start. We have main engine start. Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll.